Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the 4th of April 2018. This is the Everton News Daily. We lead with a story that broke this morning on Sky Sports News. They claim through Sky sources that Marcel Brands will become the new technical director of football, whichever you want to say, in the coming weeks, as soon as PSV have confirmed the championship. They say that a replacement has already been found, and it's all signed and sealed and ready to go. PSV could win the league as early as a week Saturday, I think, when they play Ajax. I think if they win at the weekend and beat Ajax, they will become the champions. So, yeah, they're claiming it. And normally when Sky claim things, when they put things out, there's normally a high probability rate that it's going to happen. Although Dutch media, or some of the Dutch media today, said PSV are in the dark about the situation, which is, you know, what you'd understand them to say, so it doesn't really mean anything either way. Apparently there's going to be a board meeting today, or has been a board meeting today, to basically rubber stamp it. But you wouldn't imagine Sky were plucking this out of nowhere. So, you know, there's no smoke without fire. And, you know, it's an interesting one. It's a man that we've been linked with for a while. The 55-year-old, his agent is Mino Raiola, of course, Romelu Lukaku's agent, Paul Pogba, Zlatan's agent, and, well, basically what Everton want to do, or what Farhad Moshiri wants to do, is use Raiola and Brands' contacts to bring players to Everton Football Club, which I suppose in theory is a really, really good idea. In practice, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if it happens for the start, and then whether, you know, we can use. But that's the purpose of it. If you've watched the Tuesday Topic this week, you'll see them discussing it. Seen as highlighting the fact that maybe, you know, we should have gone for a tried and tested man who knew the job when we created the position at Everton. And maybe by going for Marcel Brands, that's exactly what we're doing. He's been touted in the past as possibly joining Chelsea in a similar role, but it looks like possibly Everton might have got in there first and got their man. We'll find out. A story we covered yesterday, Frank Fabre, there was talk in the Argentine media that Everton had done a deal, struck a deal. Well, there's been an update on that. Everton haven't struck a deal, which I think we all probably presumed anyway. And said Boca Juniors are looking for $9 million for him, which again we said yesterday. Everton have offered $5 million at the moment and are coming up a little bit short with teams like PSV, ironically enough, Napoli, all interested in the Colombian, who looks like he'll be going the World Cup. So, as I said yesterday, £9 million is not a massive amount of money for a 27-year-old Colombian international who will be going the World Cup. Even for a backup left back, I don't think £9 million is a lot of money in the current climate. So we'll have to wait and see whether that one will get done or whether it's just paper talk. And if it is getting done, who's doing it? Lots of links between Fabre and Brands, I'm told by reliable people on Twitter. It's one of his kind of signings. So yeah, that's an update on that. Let's wait and see whether Everton will go for that, whether they're in the market for it. The Turkish media are saying that Everton are after Oguzhan Ozyukup from Besiktas. He is a free agent in the summer, and he can go anywhere he wants. And apparently he wants to sign for Everton to link up with Cenk Tosun. He wants to get back with his mate, helping to score goals for the man. And that is what is going to get him to Everton. Again, another signing. How do you do a signing if your manager and your director of football are up in the air and you're looking to bring a new director of football in? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that's the link in the Turkish paper, Aksam. So we'll wait and see. This is not the first time we've been linked with the player. We've been linked with him before. And as I say, it's a strong link. It's been linked before, and hopefully with the pull of Cenk Tosun. I say hopefully, like I know anything about him, like he's a good player. I honestly don't know. I should get out the habit of saying hopefully. I think I did that last year, and look where that got us. But if this is a player Everton want, then hopefully with Cenk Tosun there, they can convince him to come and get him over the line. Sam Allardyce has said the pressure mounts when top players are not available. He spoke about Gylfi Sigurdsson, who is now out of a brace, is walking without crutches, and was starting his rehabilitation. He says he stays on top of it, of the injuries, and puts a huge demand on his medical staff by basically cracking the whip. Because I think, again, this comes from, you know, being at clubs where he had to have all his top players fit. And listen, it's no real difference to Everton. And he says he places huge importance on that by being on the medical team and getting the best people there and being on top of all the time, finding out who's fit and who's not fit, and asking questions of the medical team and the rehabilitational staff all the time of how he's going to get these players fit. Obviously, this season we've had horrendous injuries: Seamus Coleman, Yannick Bolasie, Funes Mori. Obviously now Gylfi Sigurdsson's out injured. We've had Leighton Baines out injured as well. We've had periods with a lot of our top players out injured for various periods. So he says it's a huge part of what's going on, and he has to stay on top of it. So fair enough. You'd expect nothing less from a manager. And finally, the Rugby League and League Express paper has said Robert Elston is as good as the new chief executive of the Super League. It should be done in the summer, so basically end of the season. And the only thing that needs negotiating now is Robert Elston's release from Everton Football Club. Again, this has been muted for the last few weeks. It seems like it's a done deal. It seems like it'll most likely happen at the end of the season now. You know, when Everton can go away and quietly sort this out. Obviously, Robert Elston's had a large deal recently with the stadium. You wonder whether that's gathered a little bit of pace. We've seen this week the graphics, obviously. So you wonder that maybe if that's gone a little bit further down, and that might hasten the release of Robert Elston, or certainly Everton are happy to see him go now that the stadium is in a place where it seems like it's not far from being sorted. Again, Joe Anderson said last week on the Everton Business Matters podcast that they were just weeks away from the due diligence on the finance. Then they had to go to the council, and Everton hoped to put some planning permission in by October time. So hopefully that'll all get done. Hopefully, if Robert Elston's leaving, he will be replaced by someone with fantastic credentials to take Everton forward. We've seen yesterday the Tottenham Hotspur chief executive on £6 million a year. £6 million a year he's on. That shows you the level of job he must be doing. And again, this is something me and Baz have spoke about this week, about maybe, you know, having, you know, why isn't the chief executive on the kind of money the manager's on if he is helping to run the whole of the club, like the manager's running, you know, the football team? Why isn't he on similar money to run the football club? Maybe if he was on similar money, if they're throwing this silly money at football at managers to come in, why aren't they offering that similar money to people coming and run the club? Bit of food for thought there to leave you on. Thanks for watching the Everton News Daily. As always, don't forget, check out, we've done a little video on the stadium plans. The Merseyside Derby match preview will be out soon. Check them out. See you later.